Beloved chosen one, pause for a moment and lower the volume of everything around you. This message is not rushing you. It is not chasing you. It is meeting you in the quiet place where your soul has been restless without knowing why. When God speaks softly, it is never accidental. It is often the clearest sign that a chapter is closing gently and another is opening with intention. You may have noticed that lately. Life has not been dramatic, but it has been different. Less noise, fewer emotional highs and lows. Conversations feel shorter, your reactions slower. You are not as impulsive as before. This is not stagnation. This is restraint. Heaven is slowing you down so you do not carry old instincts into a new season. The chosen are rarely led by explosions. They are led by alignment. God knows that if He shouted every instruction, you would obey out of fear. But when He whispers, obedience must come from trust. And trust is what qualifies you for what is next. You might be in a season where your job still looks fine on the outside, but inside, something feels misaligned. You complete tasks, attend meetings, collect the paycheck, yet your spirit feels disengaged. You are not burnt out. You are being redirected. God often speaks softly right before He shifts assignment, because clarity comes after obedience, not before it. At home, you sense it too. Maybe you no longer tolerate conversations that once felt normal. Maybe you are craving peace more than approval. You choose silence instead of proving your point. Family dynamics expose what no longer fits. This does not mean you are becoming distant. It means your discernment is sharpening. And here is the danger of this season: silence can be misinterpreted as absence. Many people panic when God quiets the environment. They rush to fill the space with noise, with decisions, with distractions. But the chosen learn to stay still long enough to hear what others drown out. As recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. This is not poetry, this is instruction. God was not in the chaos, not in the shaking, and not in the fire. He was in the whisper. That means if you are addicted to intensity, you may miss Him. If you need constant confirmation, you may overlook direction. God speaks softly because intimacy requires proximity. Think about your finances for a moment. Perhaps nothing has collapsed, but nothing is accelerating either. You are managing budgeting, being careful, and yet there is an inner nudge telling you not to panic, not to rush into quick fixes, not to compromise integrity for speed. That whisper is wisdom. God often tests stewardship in quiet seasons before releasing overflow in louder ones. Here is a very ordinary situation you might recognize. It's late at night. The house is quiet and you are scrolling on your phone, not for entertainment, but for reassurance, looking for signs, looking for clarity, looking for something to confirm what you already feel. But God is not in the scroll. He is in the stillness you keep postponing. Let me ask you directly, what if the reason you haven't heard God clearly is not because He is silent, but because you haven't slowed down enough to listen? This section is not about warning you of disaster. It is about protecting you from misalignment. When a new chapter opens, the first instruction is almost always internal. God adjusts your hearing before He changes your scenery. He tunes your spirit before He moves your feet. There is hope here, and it is very real. The hope is that you are not behind. You have not missed your moment. You are being trained to recognize God without needing noise. That means the next season will not overwhelm you. You will walk into it grounded, not frantic, calm, not confused. When God speaks softly, He is inviting you into partnership, not pressure. He is asking for attentiveness, not perfection. This is the beginning of something clean, intentional, and sustainable. Before we continue deeper, take one step of alignment. If this message speaks to you, like the video, share it with someone who has been in a quiet season, and subscribe so you stay connected as this chapter unfolds. And as a simple act of recognition, comment 11 below, not for hype, but as a signal that you are learning to hear God in the whisper. You are beginning to notice that the quiet is not empty, it is intentional. This section is not about emotion or elevation, yet it is about discernment. The difference between God reducing noise and God increasing depth is subtle, but learning to recognize it will save you years of confusion. When God reduces noise, things fall away externally. Conversations slow, invitations decrease, the environment becomes simpler, sometimes even boring. When God increases depth, things intensify internally. Your thoughts become more precise. Your convictions grow sharper. Your tolerance for distraction weakens. One is subtraction around you. The other is expansion within you. The chosen must learn to tell which one is happening, or risk misreading preparation as rejection. Let's make this practical. Start with your daily routine. Ask yourself, is my schedule getting quieter? Or am I becoming more sensitive within the same schedule if meetings are being canceled? Plans delayed, people less available, that may be God reducing noise. If your days look the same but you feel more reflective, more aware, more convicted, that may be God increasing depth. Here is a simple test when the noise decreased. Did your anxiety increase or did your clarity sharpen? Noise reduction often exposes restlessness. Depth increase exposes truth. If you feel uncomfortable because you are alone with your thoughts, God may be inviting you to confront what distraction used to cover. Consider your work life. Maybe your workload hasn't increased, but your standards have. You now notice inefficiency that never bothered you before. You feel tension doing things halfway. That is not pressure, it is depth. God often deepens excellence before He broadens influence. If He promoted you without depth, the platform would crush you. Now look at your relationships. Are fewer people calling you? Or are you simply less entertained by surface-level conversations when God reduces noise? Some connections naturally fade. When He increases depth, you still love people, but you crave substance over familiarity. You would rather have one honest conversation than 10 empty ones. This is not pride, this is refinement. Let's talk about finances, because this is where many people misinterpret God. If income slows, expenses tighten, and options narrow, people assume God has gone silent. But depth is often built through stewardship, not surplus. Ask yourself, am I being trained to manage better? Or am I panicking because I lack control? Noise reduction reveals dependency. Depth increase builds trust. Here is a very ordinary situation. You wake up earlier than usual without an alarm. Your phone is quiet, no messages, no notifications. You lie there, awake, thinking. In the past, you would grab the phone immediately. Now, something in you resists. That resistance is depth. God is teaching you to be present before being informed. Scripture gives language to this process, as the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand at my watch and station myself on the ramparts. I will look to see what He will say to me. Notice the posture here. Standing, watching, waiting, not rushing to speak, watching to see. Depth requires patience. Noise reduction removes urgency. God is not trying to confuse you. He is training your spiritual posture. Here is a practical instruction you can apply this week. Create intentional silence. Not as avoidance, but as observation. 10 minutes without music, without podcasts, without scrolling. Ask one question internally. What is becoming clearer lately? Not louder, clearer. God speaks through patterns, not pressure. Another instruction: audit your reactions. When something small irritates you more than usual, that is information. Depth increases sensitivity. God may be revealing what no longer belongs in your next chapter. Irritation is often a sign of misalignment, not immaturity. Also, check your obedience in small things. Has God been nudging you to rest more, speak less, spend differently, forgive quietly? These are not random. Noise reduction simplifies commands. Depth increase tests follow through. Big assignments are built on small obedience. Here is the danger: to avoid confusing stillness with stagnation. Just because nothing is visibly changing does not mean nothing is happening. Roots grow in silence. Foundations are laid underground. The chosen who rush this stage often repeat cycles they were meant to outgrow. Let me ask you directly: are you trying to escape the quiet, or are you learning to interpret it? Hope lives here. Two very concrete hope. If God is increasing depth, it means He trusts you with weight. Depth is not given to the careless. It is entrusted to those who can carry responsibility without needing applause. What feels heavy now will soon feel steady. You are not shrinking. Your world may feel smaller because your focus is becoming sharper. God reduces noise so your discernment can become precise. He increases depth so your future decisions are not emotional, but anchored. This section is not asking you to do more. It is inviting you to see more clearly. The chosen do not rush into the next chapter blind. They learn to recognize the difference between silence that hides and silence that reveals. Stay here. Observe. Let clarity form without force. The next movement will come, but it will come clean. Something is being tested now, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly and consistently. This is the kind of testing most people miss, because it doesn't look like trouble. It looks like delay. It looks like subtle resistance. It looks like moments where nothing goes wrong, yet nothing moves forward either. And this is where discernment matters more than effort. Before promotion, there is always a period where your motives are refined. God does not test the chosen with obvious temptation first. He tests them with patience. He watches how you respond when progress slows, when affirmation disappears, when obedience feels unrewarded. This is not punishment. This is filtration. You may notice that recently. Your reactions matter more than your actions. Small inconveniences reveal big truths. A delayed email irritates you more than it should. A minor misunderstanding feels heavier than expected. These are not random emotional swings, though they are indicators. Pressure exposes what is still unhealed, what still seeks control, what still demands certainty before obedience. In your work life, this can look like being overlooked despite competence. You do your job well, yet recognition goes elsewhere. The old version of you would push harder, prove more, speak louder. The current version feels a pause inside, an awareness that striving here might cost you alignment. God is watching whether you will force doors or wait for the right one. In family or close relationships, this test often shows up as restraint. You want to explain yourself. You want to correct the misunderstanding. You want to be seen accurately. But something in you hesitates. You choose peace over precision. That choice is not weakness. It is maturity being measured. Financially, the test can feel uncomfortable but controlled. Enough provision to survive, not enough to relax. Enough clarity to function, not enough to predict. This is where trust becomes practical, not theoretical. God is not asking if you believe, He is asking if you will move faithfully without guarantees. Here is a common daily situation. You are about to make a decision, send a message, commit to something, spend money, say yes out of habit, and suddenly you feel a check. Not fear, not confusion, just a quiet hesitation. That hesitation is not indecision, it is instruction. The test is whether you pause long enough to honor it. Scripture gives us language for this moment. The Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 36, "You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised." Notice the order. Perseverance comes before the promise, not after clarity, not after confirmation. Perseverance during uncertainty is what qualifies you for fulfillment. Many people obey when the outcome is visible. The chosen obey when the path is still forming. This is where many fail, not because they sin, but because they rush. They mistake delay for denial. They confuse silence with disapproval. They abandon posture too early. God is not asking you to do something dramatic right now. He is watching how you carry yourself while waiting. Let me ask you directly, when nothing is happening on the outside, what is happening inside you? If resentment is growing, the test is revealing insecurity. If humility is growing, the test is producing readiness. If peace is increasing, promotion is near. These are not emotional states, they are indicators of capacity. Here is the hope, and it is very specific. This test has an expiration date. Perseverance is not permanent, it is seasonal. God never withholds reward indefinitely. He delays it intentionally. What you are learning now will prevent collapse later. You are not being trained to endure forever. You are being trained to endure correctly, to wait without hardening, to trust without numbing, to obey without applause. These qualities are rare and they are required for what is coming next. Before we move forward, anchor this moment with intention. If this section speaks to where you are, this quiet testing, this restrained season, comment "I stay ready" below. That phrase is not about waiting passively. It means you are choosing posture over panic, alignment over impulse, perseverance over pressure. Writing it is not performance, it is clarity. You are naming the position you are standing in while God prepares the next door. Stay here. Do not rush this test. You are closer than you think. Typing "I stay ready" declares that you refuse to rush God, choosing disciplined patience, spiritual posture, and obedience in silence. Trusting preparation is happening even when progress feels invisible now. That comment also becomes a quiet witness, aligning you with others in the same season, reminding your spirit daily that waiting well is active faith, not passivity or defeat today. There comes a moment when obedience no longer feels heroic. It feels quietly costly. This is the kind of obedience that doesn't announce itself, doesn't seek agreement, and doesn't even feel rewarding at first. It is the obedience that happens when no one is watching, when explanations feel unnecessary, and when your spirit knows more than your mouth can articulate. This is where many turn back, not because they doubt God, but because obedience begins to interfere with comfort. You are not being asked to make a dramatic sacrifice. You are being asked to make a precise adjustment. One decision, one restraint, one choice that feels small enough to ignore, yet heavy enough to shape your future. Uncomfortable obedience rarely looks sinful if you avoid it. That's what makes it dangerous. It looks optional, negotiable, delayable. But the chosen know this truth. Destiny is not usually altered by rebellion, it is altered by hesitation. At work, this season may show up as an instruction to slow down when everyone else is accelerating. You may feel led to turn down an opportunity that promises visibility but demands compromise. Not moral compromise, identity compromise. It would require you to become louder, harsher, more performative. Obedience whispers, "Stay clean." And staying clean costs you applause. In your family life, uncomfortable obedience may look like breaking emotional patterns. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop carrying guilt that was never assigned to you by God. You love deeply, but you no longer bleed freely. This is not hardness. This is stewardship of the heart. Financially, this is where obedience stops being theoretical. You feel prompted to delay a purchase, to give quietly, to save when indulgence feels justified. No one would know if you didn't obey. That's the point. Obedience that needs witnesses is still negotiating. Here is a simple, everyday scene. You are about to respond text back, defend yourself, clarify, justify. You already know what to say, and then something interrupts you internally. Not fear, not confusion, a gentle stop. Silence asks you to choose restraint over release. That pause is sacred ground. Many people override that pause and call it confidence. But confidence that ignores conviction becomes recklessness. God is not trying to silence you forever. He is teaching you when silence carries more authority than speech. The ancient words recorded in Romans still echo today. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation is internal before it is visible. Renewal happens quietly. Obedience often feels uncomfortable because it breaks patterns that once felt normal. God is not removing joy, He is removing reflex. Let me ask you directly, what is God asking you to stop doing even though it still works? Because this is where hope becomes tangible. Not emotional hope, structural hope. Obedience here is not about loss, it is about alignment. You are not giving something up. You are preventing something from following you into a season it cannot survive. God knows the weight of what is coming. He also knows what habits, relationships, and instincts would collapse under that weight. So He trains you now, in private, through subtle obedience. This is mercy disguised as discomfort. And there is beauty here, real beauty. The beauty of choosing well without being seen, of trusting God enough to obey without explanation, of walking lighter because you are no longer dragging old versions of yourself forward. If this message feels like it is walking beside you rather than pushing you, you are welcome to mark that moment in your own way. Some people choose to place a quiet stone on the path, a sign they've passed this point intentionally. Others carry the water forward, sharing it with someone who is thirsty but hasn't named it yet. And some decide to keep returning to the fire, not out of obligation but because warmth changes how far you can walk. Those choices, lingering, sharing, returning, are how community forms without pressure. Not because someone demanded it, because something here felt true. This section does not end with a command. It ends with an invitation to choose obedience, not because you are afraid of missing out, but because you trust where God is leading. Walk gently here. The ground is narrow, but it is solid. And it leads somewhere worth arriving whole. Choosing obedience here is like sealing a letter before the storm arrives. No one applauds the envelope, but the message reaches its destination intact. What feels like restraint now becomes stability later. The quiet yes you give today turns into a steady path tomorrow, wide enough to carry peace without regret. The story of Esther does not begin with courage. It begins with concealment. A young woman placed quietly inside a powerful system, carrying an identity she is instructed not to reveal yet. No announcement, no platform, no obvious calling. Just proximity to influence and a growing tension between safety and responsibility. This is how many divine assignments begin hidden, delayed, misunderstood. Esther did not wake up one morning brave. Courage was required of her only when silence became dangerous. She lived in comfort, protection, provision. From the outside, everything looked settled. From the inside, a door was forming, and the door did not open automatically. It waited for her decision. This is where your life mirrors hers more than you realize. You may not be standing in a palace, but you are standing in spaces that matter. A workplace where your integrity stands out, a family system where you see patterns others normalize, a financial structure where compromise is common but conscience resists. You are positioned not accidentally but intentionally. And like Esther, you may have enjoyed the safety of quiet obedience until now, because there comes a moment when staying silent costs more than speaking, when remaining unseen becomes disobedience, when God does not shout but places the weight of a choice directly into your hands. Esther's courage was not emotional, it was calculated. She fasted, she waited, she aligned, and then she stepped forward knowing the risk. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience that moves through fear without demanding certainty. In your daily life, this courage may look very ordinary. It may be choosing honesty at work when exaggeration would advance you faster. It may be setting a boundary with a family member who benefits from your silence. It may be saying no to income that violates your values. These are not dramatic scenes, but they are doorways. Here is a situation you may recognize. You are aware of something wrong, but not illegal, not scandalous, just misaligned. Everyone else seems comfortable. You feel the tension rise in your chest. You could ignore it and keep your peace. Or you could speak gently, clearly, and risk misunderstanding. This is Esther's door, and it does not stay open forever. Scripture captures the gravity of this moment as the voice of wisdom speaks in the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 14. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? This is not a motivational phrase. It is a warning wrapped in possibility. Mordecai tells Esther that relief will come, but her participation is optional. Destiny will move forward. The question is whether you will move with it. This truth applies directly to you. God's plan does not collapse if you hesitate, but your alignment does. Courage is not about saving the world. It is about saving your integrity in moments that define direction. At work, courage may mean stepping out of invisibility, not aggressively but clearly, allowing your ideas to be seen, letting your voice carry weight, refusing to shrink to keep others comfortable. Esther did not overthrow the system. She showed up as herself within it. In relationships, courage may mean telling the truth without emotional armor. Saying, "This hurts," or "This cannot continue," or "I need space." Esther approached the king not with demands but with clarity. Courage does not scream. It stands. Financially, courage often looks like restraint, turning down shortcuts, delaying gratification, choosing sustainability over image. Esther fasted before she acted. She reduced consumption before increasing influence. That order matters. Let me ask you directly, where are you being protected when you are actually being prepared? Because preparation feels like safety until it becomes avoidance. God hides you until hiding becomes disobedience. Then courage becomes the key that opens the next chapter. Here is the hope in Esther's story and yours. Courage invites divine timing. When Esther stepped forward, the door did not collapse on her. Favor met her movement. Courage does not guarantee ease, but it does activate alignment. You are not being asked to be reckless. You are being asked to be honest. Honest about what you see. Honest about what you know. Honest about what you can no longer ignore. And when courage rises, it helps to mark the moment not for performance, but for clarity. If this section speaks to you, if you recognize an unopened door requiring courage. Comment 21 below. That number represents a crossing point, the moment when preparation meets action. Writing it is not about visibility. It is about acknowledgement. You are naming that you see the door, and you are no longer pretending it isn't there. Esther's story did not end at the door, but it could not continue without her opening it. Neither can yours. Stand where you are. Breathe. Courage does not rush. It steps forward when the time is full. Power does not always announce itself with movement. Often, it awakens in stillness. This is the paradox many never learn: the quieter you become inside, the more authority you carry. Section 6 is not about what you do next, but about what is being activated while you appear to be doing less. Stillness is not inactivity. It is alignment without noise. At this stage, you may feel less driven by urgency and more guided by conviction. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You don't rush to respond. You pause before deciding. This is not hesitation. This is authority learning to breathe. In earlier seasons, effort produced results. Hustle felt holy. Striving felt necessary. But now, something has shifted. The same tactics no longer work. Pushing harder only exhausts you. Forcing clarity only creates confusion. God is teaching you a new operating system, one where power flows through presence, not pressure. Look at your daily life. You may be doing fewer things, yet sensing more weight in your decisions. A single conversation carries more impact than 10 explanations used to. One boundary shifts an entire dynamic. One choice of silence prevents unnecessary conflict. This is power awakening, not outwardly dramatic, but internally decisive. In your work environment, this may look like influence without effort. People listen when you speak, not because you talk more, but because you speak from stillness. You no longer fill space to avoid discomfort. You let pauses do the work. Authority often enters a room quietly and is felt before it is recognized. In family or relationships, this power shows up as emotional stability. You are less reactive. Old triggers don't hook you the same way. You don't need to win arguments to feel secure. This is not emotional detachment. It is emotional mastery. Stillness has given you leverage. Financially, power in stillness looks like restraint paired with clarity. You spend intentionally. You save patiently. You no longer chase what impresses others. Your peace is not for sale. You have learned that wealth without rest is poverty in disguise. Here is a very ordinary moment where this power reveals itself. Someone tries to provoke you subtly, indirectly. In the past, you would have responded immediately, defending, clarifying, correcting. Now, you feel no rush. You see clearly what is happening. You choose your response or choose none at all. That restraint changes the outcome. That is power. Scripture describes this kind of authority without spectacle. As the apostle wrote in the letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 20. For the kingdom of God is not a matter of talk, but of power. Notice what is absent here. Volume, performance, explanation. Power does not need to announce itself. It is recognized by effect, not effort. This is why God often brings the chosen into seasons of stillness before expansion. Noise trains reaction. Stillness trains response. Reaction consumes energy. Response directs it. What is awakening in you now is not excitement, it is capacity. Let me ask you something quietly. Who are you becoming when no one is watching? Because stillness reveals identity. Without distraction, you see what remains. Your values clarify. Your fears surface and dissolve. Your desires simplify. This internal alignment is what allows power to move through you without corrupting you. Many people want influence but cannot handle stillness. They confuse attention with authority. God does the opposite with the chosen. He removes noise first, then releases weight. He teaches you how to carry power without losing humility. This is also why this season can feel lonely. Not empty, but solitary. Fewer voices, fewer opinions, fewer interruptions. God is not isolating you to weaken you. He is separating you so your power does not become diluted. Stillness teaches you to hear nuance, to sense timing, to know when to act and when to wait. These are the skills that sustain leadership, not charisma. There is deep hope here, very grounded hope. The calm you are developing now will protect you later. When pressure increases, and it will, you will not collapse. You will remain steady. What overwhelms others will clarify you. You are not being slowed down. You are being stabilized. Power that awakens in stillness does not rush ahead. It stands rooted. It waits until movement is necessary and then moves cleanly. This is how God prepares you for environments that require discernment more than enthusiasm. Stay here long enough to let this power settle. Let it become familiar. Let it teach you how to stand without striving. The next chapter will demand movement, but it will be movement that flows from stillness, not anxiety. And when you step forward, it will not be loud. It will be undeniable. This is the moment where the path widens, not because it becomes easier, but because you are finally ready to walk it without shrinking. You are not stepping into something unfamiliar anymore. You are stepping into something prepared quietly, carefully, patiently by God and within you. By God, and the new chapter does not open with noise. It opens with recognition. You recognize yourself again, not the rushed version, not the fearful one, but the grounded one, the one who can stand still without feeling left behind, who can move forward without abandoning peace. You have been trained for this moment in ways that did not feel like training. In silence, in restraint, in uncomfortable obedience, in courage that showed up before confidence. Now, something has settled inside you, a steadiness, a calm authority. You are not guessing anymore. You are ready not because everything is clear, but because you are anchored. Readiness does not mean every question is answered. It means your spirit no longer needs certainty to obey. You trust the God who speaks softly. You recognize his timing. You know when to wait and when to step. The anxiety that once rushed you has loosened its grip. In its place stands discernment. In your work life, this new chapter may not arrive with loud celebration. It may arrive quietly, like increased responsibility, deeper trust, or influence that doesn't need a title. You carry yourself differently now. You choose environments that respect your integrity. You no longer chase opportunity, you recognize alignment when it appears. In your family and relationships, this chapter feels like peace without withdrawal. You love without losing yourself. You stay present without absorbing chaos. Old patterns knock, but they no longer have keys. You are no longer reacting from wounds, you are responding from wholeness. Financially, this chapter begins with stability before abundance. You make decisions with foresight. You resist impulse without feeling deprived. You are building something that lasts, not something that flashes. This is provision that does not steal your sleep. Here is a moment you may soon recognize. You wake up one morning and realize you are no longer bracing for impact. You are no longer waiting for something to collapse. There is calm, and instead of suspicion, there is gratitude. That calm is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Scripture names this kind of transition clearly. As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Notice the language. Springs up, not forced, not rushed, alive. The new thing does not shout to announce itself. It grows, and perception, not effort, is what allows you to recognize it. You perceive it now. That is why this message resonates. Let me ask you one final question. Honestly and directly, will you step forward as the person you have become? Or will you keep waiting as the person you used to be? Because the door is open now. Not pushed open, not kicked down. Open because the time is right. Open because you are ready to walk through it without dragging old versions of yourself behind you. This is also where the journey becomes shared. Not everyone walks this road, but no one is meant to walk it alone. Some people mark the ground quietly, leaving a sign that says, "Someone faithful passed here." Some carry what they've received forward, letting light travel farther than their own reach. Some choose to remain near the fire not because they are told to stay, but because warmth strengthens the walk ahead. Some moments don't ask for applause. They ask for acknowledgement, like resting your hand on a doorframe before stepping through, just to know it's real. Some truths are not meant to be kept alone. They are passed forward, like handing a lantern to someone walking the same dark road you once feared. And some paths are worth returning to not out of obligation, but because gathering again at the same fire reminds you who you are becoming. These are not clicks. They are gestures. They are signals of resonance. They are quiet agreements with what your spirit already knows. And if this final section speaks to you, if you sense that this chapter is truly opening, mark the moment with intention. Comment 88 below, not for noise, but as a witness that you are stepping forward with maturity, not haste. You are not behind. You are not early. You are on time. Walk into this chapter gently. Walk into it awake. You are prepared. You are aligned. You are not alone. Before you leave this space, pause once more, not to decide quickly, but to listen honestly. Not every word spoken here was meant to be carried forward. Some were meant only for you. Some were meant to settle quietly, like seeds resting in soil before any visible change appears. If something in this message helped you breathe easier, see clearer, or feel less alone, you are free to let it travel. You may offer it gently to someone who is walking through a quiet season of their own. Not as instruction, not as correction, simply as light shared without explanation. What belongs to others will find them in time. And if sharing does not feel right, that is also wisdom. You are allowed to keep what touched you. You are allowed to carry one sentence, one image, one truth, and let it work in you privately. Growth does not require witnesses. Some transformations deepen best when they are not spoken aloud too soon. You do not owe this message anything. Take what strengthens you. Leave what does not. Trust your discernment. The same voice that guided you here will guide you away when the time is right. Remember, this God does not rush endings or beginnings. He unfolds them quietly, purposefully. In rhythm with who you are becoming, you do not need to force meaning from every word. What matters will remain. As you return to your ordinary moments, your work, your conversations, your quiet decisions, notice what stays with you. Notice what feels lighter. Notice what no longer demands effort. That is where the real work is happening. If this message walks with you a little longer, let it do so naturally. If it fades, let it go without guilt. What is meant for you will not be lost. Go gently. Carry peace, not pressure. The chapter is open, but the pace is yours.